So to Aquadome we go for our third series of the day, but only one of these players will not end up drowning under the pressure of a Salt Mine Underground matchup, as obviously we are into this. Marky, apart from goals, what are we... Oh, wait, there's number one. Don't worry, we are skipping all of these. Marky, please have button ready on the skip.
Okay. Here we go. You ready? Bang! That's
Bang!
the button smashed without hesitation. I'm on it already.
Yeah, don't worry. This is... there's going to be a few of them.
Zamué says, good luck, by the way. And
they didn't even get this in before the game. Like, they know that they've got plenty of time.
Trex with no response, obviously very in the zone right now. I'm sort of expecting, so they're both very aggressive attacking players. I'm expecting goal after goal after goal. But Zamué more through tactics and decision-making and aggression, and Trex through unbelievable skill moves. It's sort of brains versus bronze, kind of. But in like a slugfest sort of matchup.
See, I should be like the ultimate knowledge source of this matchup. But I'll be completely honest, by goal 75, my brain was mush. It was just a blur of explosions and goals, and I think one of them was running the nuke explosion at the time, so my eyeballs weren't exactly working at that point. Still,
well, fine for me because my brain's already mush, so I'll be unaffected by the onslaught of gold.
Being harsh to yourself there, Marky. At least leave something for me to make fun of, as Zamué is going to try and double up his lead here. It's a nice challenge from him to try and set himself up. As for Trex, really should have backed down.
Yeah, Trex, for all his skill and mechanical ability, does have a tendency to overcommit at times, and I think Zamué's smart enough to sort of pick up on that, and he'll probably play, you know, I don't think Zamué's particularly capable of playing conservatively in a 1v1, but he'll probably try and pull back a little bit, put on the brakes a wee bit, and just let Trex do the damage to himself, and then hit him on the counter. Yeah,
I think Zamué is going to do a lot of boost conservation in this series, and if it ends up working out for him, then I'm not too sure what Trex's example is as to what to do after that, because I feel like Trex will be looking at a situation where he thinks, oh wow, I overcommitted for that. What if I commit more?
Yeah, he's like, okay, well, the double flip reset didn't work. What about the musty flip reset? Let's try that one next time.
So we joke about this, but there are a lot of players that think like that right now, but for the time being, Trex is being outpaced at everything. Zamué is picking his battles so well at the moment. Trex to the air and instantly gets beat to the ball.
Yeah, like I said, Zamué sort of just happy to absorb a little bit of pressure, wait for Trex to make the overcommit, and then just pounce and score. Trex is definitely going to have to A, either slow down a little bit, or B, get even better mechanically and come up with some slightly more dangerous moves.
Yeah, a lot of what I'm seeing right now from Trex is sort of the hope that your pace is enough to overwhelm, and Zamué seems whelmed, and that's about it at the moment. I think Trex, we know he's mechanically pretty solid. He might have to start going for the point where you start setting up for something halfway line, seeing if you can just beat Zamué that one time on the goal line, as this is the first time we've really seen Zamué be the aggressor, and it has not worked for him.
No, Trex is very quick as well. That's his other weapon. He is very quick to spot opportunities. So if Zamué, you know, he's obviously playing quite carefully, but if he does leave a bit of an opening, Trex will pounce and score. So Zamué, although, you know, we make it sound easy to absorb pressure and then counter, he has to really focus to not give away anything.
I do want to take a look at this kickoff one more time, actually, because I got the feeling I spotted something here with Zamué's jump. No, okay, he's not messed up too much there. I thought he might have done the second jump a little bit too early, but instead it is just a bit of a clean loss there to Trex.
Yeah, one of those ones that's sort of hard to analyze, really, just so you know.
They both went for very similar kickoffs.
Yeah.
Just one executed better than the other, and it's amazing how those small differences can look that vastly different either side of the ball.
Good turn there from Trex. Chance to do one of his fabled flip resets. Nice.
Oh. Well, I asked about a minute or so ago if we could see some halfway line set plays from Trex. I'm not disappointed. That is brilliant.
Lovely little wave dash to put himself in front of the ball so that he could get under it for the chip. That is lovely. And see, like we were saying, like you can absorb all you want, but how are you supposed to absorb that? That's, you know, it's like a sponge versus a waterfall. Oh, just missed there with the shot.
This is getting very difficult for Zamué. I think he's got a boost advantage here, but almost got put underneath him. Trex doing a great job of elevation changing so far. But he is finally going to have to give up. How long for? Well, about as long as Trex wants to, because that was him using the ball to shield himself and hide himself from Zamué's vision. Trex, despite the slow start, he's not making any missteps so far in the second half of this game. Stuck against a little bit of pressure here. Zamué went for the dunk, and he does read where Trex wanted to go.
Yeah, nice and basic, nothing too fancy. Trex sort of misses the dribble back to his own corner, and Zamué just lines up the 50-50. Didn't really. It was either going to be that or a fake. Just lined it up, squeezed it home.
I feel like that is a great way of describing how this game has gone in general. Zamué has not had to do anything special so far. It is him basically against what Trex can put up against him. And so far, Zamué has looked just fine. He's not adjusting that strategy just yet. That's a good flick. And it's going to be a very difficult recovery for Trex.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, but he's handed it straight over to him. Zamué, uncharacteristic mistake there from him, but he should be fine.
Yeah, I mean, he did well to spot the danger and not commit to the aerial and just recover and go back and, cut his losses. He's looking very thoughtful. It's a very thoughtful game. He's obviously thought about his strategy quite in depth, and he's trusting it, and it's working so far.
Yeah, Zamué very much safety first so far of everything he's been playing, but when you've got the 1-goal lead, why not? Especially with how much Trex is willing to commit. It's not like he's going to require much baiting.
Zamué is happy to sort of try and just control the game with the possession of the ball, whereas Trex is very direct. Every time Trex gets the ball, he wants to score, whereas Zamué is happy to just sort of build up slowly, brick by brick, get closer and closer to the net, although going pretty all in here, it would seem. No, again, just controlling, keeping it tight, gives possession away, though, gives Trex an opportunity.
The question is, does this ever frustrate Trex? Because Trex, the question is now, Zamué's never going to go. When does Trex go all in? Oh, it's going to be his chance. Zamué! He didn't do anything wrong for so long. And with 10 seconds left, he hands it to Trex.
Yeah, I mean, I think, honestly, he had the timing right on that. If he got that touch, that's over Trex. He got, he made the right decision. He just missed. It doesn't matter what decision you make when you miss.
Well, Zamué proving where the downfall on this plan is, which is that you have to be so perfect all the time. Now Trex looks to try and take away the game. Couldn't quite get the 50 for himself that he was after. And we are going to go over to overtime, an overtime that Zamué didn't want to see.
Yeah. So all comes down to this. He absorbed so well, and just one wee mistake sort of puts him in a really awkward position now. And now he's going to have to do some defending. He's given possession to Trex. Nice touch. Oh, he saw he was going for it, didn't quite get the landing right.
I'm fairly certain I've seen... Oh, Zamué tried to just hook across him. He does get the 100 boost as well. This is all advantage. Zamué and Trex found himself 12 boost, and he was just no hesitation. That 12 boost was getting used to challenge. Still sticking around here, and Trex, with nothing in the tank, has broken away and taken game 1.
That is well played from Trex. Usually you'd favour Zamué in the awkward, finicky, close-range encounters, but there, Trex getting the better of a couple to take the first game.
Wow, that was a chess match. Well, one player was playing chess, the other one was just sort of throwing the pieces across the board. But once Trex was left with only pawns, he was able to come out on top. So congratulations to him, and certainly an interesting one. What are you expecting from Zamué here, Marky? Because he's been very calculated, and it hasn't worked, and it's only so much more perfect he can play this.
I feel like he'll probably stick to the strategy at least until the second game starts to maybe, if Trex goes a couple goals up in the second game, maybe not. Because I don't think it was the strategy that was at fault. Like we said, he probably would have won that game if he didn't just miss that touch off the wall. So I reckon he'll stick to it. He should realize that it was working, that he just messed up. But we'll see. If he goes down a couple goals, he is going to have to mix it up, because it's not a very you know, it's not a comeback strategy. It's not a strategy you can get like 8 goals back. I've just joined the wrong team.
Did you just James bot it?
Yeah, I did that the first one as well.
All right, fair enough.
Thankfully,
you didn't change anything on the kickoffs either way, so all good. James Bot gets a shout on every broadcast apparently, so thanks a lot for that one, Marky. Either way, we get ourselves into game number 2, and I do agree with you. I am very curious how this matchup looks when Zamué goes down during regulation time. And if Trex gets his way, we might be able to find out. Look at that recovery from Trex. Look at the recovery from Zamué. What a start.
Yeah, there we go. Already Zamué's strategy sort of paying off. He just sort of waits for Trex to overcommit. Gets a little fortunate with the scramble afterwards and then goes and scores the open net.
Well, we're not going to find out just yet. Zamué getting started the exact way that he wanted to get started. And go to the better. And that is a kickoff that Trex is going to like to see anyway. He's going to get there first. Yeah. And that lead is evaporated.
I am trying to skip. My game has glitched. I am stuck with the...
This is what happens when you join a team, Marky.
I'm stuck with the camera wheel view on my screen.
Well, have fun with that.
Yeah.
I don't know how to troubleshoot for you there, lad. Trex gonna find himself. Gonna go the whole way. Oh, wow. Musty flick. Off the air dribble. All right, well, Zamué, you can be as cautious as you want. Good luck with things like that.
Yeah, that's the problem with Zamué's strategy is that you do leave yourself open to, you know, if you're not closing down these things quickly and you're not being the aggressor sometimes in defensive situations, you are at the mercy of your opponent sometimes, and if they're capable of that, you just have to accept that every now and then they're going to score.
Zamué now, I think he's just realized that a little bit. Oh, I hope he has. He's going to know that Trex is more than capable, but here is Trex realizing, oh, okay, that was... Crossbar, almost OP.
Yeah, the one time Zamué decides to get a little bit more aggressive on defense and try and get a counter going, he just gets flipped into oblivion.
So, Zamué, and this is the issue, is that we can talk all we want about whether or not this strategy works for Zamué when he's behind, but we also don't know whether or not the other strategy would work. There's a lot of times where we can discuss things just like, hey, change this, it'll all be suddenly better. Trex has probably got more experience against people trying to challenge him in the midfield than he does with someone staying back a little bit more often.
Yeah, it's a more common style. Most ones players are very aggressive and quite mechanical and high-flying, so he's probably not as used to someone just sitting back and absorbing. But, you know, Trex is 2 goals up now, so I doubt we'll see as much sitting back and absorbing from Zamué. He's kind of, you know, got a score.
Yeah, he's gone all the way back to his own side of the field. Need to open up the field a little bit more, but that's really awkward, and Trex is going to put in another one. It looks a little bit calamitous from Zamué, but at the end of the day, he has got to find the perfect point underneath this ball to just try and tip it over, and it was always going to be very, very difficult.
Yeah, it is a difficult one, but a player of Zamué's quality, you'd think, would be able to do that. A bit poor from him. He needs to sort of step up, splash some water in his face or something. He's just looked like he's got the foot off the pedal a wee bit.
Do we need to go and find him? Do we need to splash water, or do we need to go and find him Rizzo's taco blanket?
He needs a wee nap in between games to get his energy back. He does
no, he's not. I think Zamué just sent him for a nap. He's definitely sent him off the field with that bump. This has been a very, very grounding game here for Zamué, especially given how he lost the last one.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that got to him a little bit. He's definitely not been himself so far this game. Maybe that miss tilted him.
Well, it is something that I feel has been more prevalent lately in Rocket League compared to the earlier days. I think earlier days, players were very... They struggled a lot with keeping momentum game to game. It was like, all right, 5 minutes are over, we had a minute between, and it was a completely different game when we came back on. But players these days seem very good at maintaining momentum, and Trex has certainly got plenty of it.
Yeah, I think Trex might just be playing too well for the defensive strategy. That is such a good catch for the flip reset, and then times it nicely for a good bit of power over Zamué. Yeah, Zamué's going to have to just start being aggressive because he's not going to absorb pressure like that.
Especially not when he is already 4 goals down. That boost is going to be his. All right, well, we got Zamué. He's not going to go for the reset. He just tried to... Oh, he's found the challenge. Well, I'm not too sure how much of this was planned. Would hesitate to ask, but it has worked.
Okay, well, I think he tried to cut left behind Trex, and then, you know, he was already there. Like, may as well, 50-50.
Well, it has indeed worked. That lead is now down to 3 goals. Still lots of work to do if you are Zamué. This is another good kickoff for him. He's getting a lot of these. How risky is he willing to be? Another ground play, and it's another low challenge. That is worked out.
Yeah, he's getting physical. He's getting gritty and dirty. He seems to be betting on the 50-50s whenever he's got a dribble going.
It's gone from very gentlemanly Rocket League from Zamué to pure rugby. Zamué need to try and get a little bit more than that. One thing I have noticed, though, is that, well, not very often go to the air, and even this one, he doesn't want to take too much of a risk, try and find the pretty difficult angle shot. Oh, no, he's giving it up, Zamué!
Yeah,
couldn't quite figure out where to go.
That's got to be upsetting. Look, he got, like, just nudged off the boost, just forced wide of the boost, and then, you know, nothing you can do about the shot once he's missed the boost.
Well, Trex has already got 7. We're just over halfway into this game. Zamué's kickoff still looking pretty decent. This one he's going to be able to control back to his own corner, although the ball didn't follow around with him. Instead, it was stuck in that awkward no man's land. And the recovery from Trex just wasn't quite quick enough.
Yeah, these are the types of plays that you can't be going for if you're Trex. If you're 3 goals up, I think it's time to cut those plays out. He didn't quite see it in the replay, but he, you know, didn't really have much of an angle. It was quite an easy block for Zamué and just really left himself open for the counter.
I can respect it a little bit from him because the way this game has been going, there is the opportunity in this game to finish the series off immediately. If you can win this heavily enough. I think Trex is seeing that chance and he's trying to take it.
Yeah, just really stamp his authority on Zamué. Make Zamué give up.
Three-goal lead is straight back to Trex. It might be about to be 4. It is going to be 4. And even that slight kickoff advantage for Zamué has gone against him.
Yeah, he's lost a couple kickoff goals now. Now this is going to be a big test of Zamué's mental strength. Not just in this game to bring back these 4 goals, but if he loses this game, then, you know, to see what sort of switch up he comes up with in the next game. Good touch there.
You asked for a switch up there, Marky. That was certainly given one. Trex did not know where on earth Zamué was going to go with this. He sort of faked out he was going to go to the left, right over the top of him. Well played by Zamué. And still plenty of time. You know, we've been talking about how in control this Trex has been. He has been, but he's not pulled away enough to finish this game off just yet.
No, yeah, I mean, this is such a high-scoring pairing when they face off against each other. 3 goals is, you know, 3 goals is nothing. You know, if we're going to end up with 87 for the whole series, and 3 goals...
We've got a ways to go.
Yeah. Great shot. Yeah, this is more like the high-scoring games we were promised. Not that the first one was low-scoring, to be fair, but 9-7 is more what we were after. Great shot. Slipped straight under the crossbar.
So 2 goals now in a game that has already had 16 of them. That suddenly doesn't sound like all that much for Zamué, does it? Especially when it could be about to be down to 1. And Zamué, good recovery though, managed to recover directly into Trex. Tried to steal the 100 boost as well. Zamué is just being so awkward. No real possession over the ball, but just has the car parked in tough spots. Now can his low boost get him away from here? Yes, he can. Now he's up to the wall. Zamué, this is not what we've seen yet. What has he got? Flip reset, and it's off target. This will not encourage him to go for it again.
No, Trex was like, oh no! Oh, thank God the wall's there. And then just went and scored. Great execution from Zamué, but he just did it. He just dragged it wide and gave Trex the open goal. And now, 3 goals with a minute left. You've got to fancy Trex.
Oh, and I don't know what that's going to do for the rest of the series as well, because realistically, that's the first one we've seen from Zamué. The last one he brought back down to the floor. Trex still willing to go for whatever he wants. And whatever he wants, he will get.
Yeah, Zamué adjusting his defense this time, trying to go off the ceiling. Just sort of
He's even got
himself.
the flick down into that.
Yeah, it's just beautiful stuff. The thing is, if Zamué comes in early for that, you know Trex just, you know, pops it over him with his flip. He's just so dangerous when you give him too much space. I think Zamué's going to have to try and close him down earlier and not give him room to pull off those moves.
It's going to be another counterattack. Zamué, stop moving. Trex should stop this ball. Stop the ball, Trex.
Big mistake, Zamué. Don't ever do that. If you're an aspiring one player, don't ever do that because your opponent will make it last as long as possible.
Every single series we've done today has had that. And every single person that's had the advantage has actually slowed the ball down. So very good and aware play from all of them. But this
very bad and unaware
feels...
play from all the people who suffered.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just that one moment of tilt, isn't it? You think you can just have yourself a quick break from it. No, there's no break from tilt in 1v1, as this has turned very quickly into that game that Trex was after. That might very well finish off the series. This, from Zamué's point of view, looks like he's running out of ideas.
Yeah, I think he's, you know, it's got to hurt knowing that his strategy doesn't seem to be working. I think Trex came out a lot.
Okay in chat.
Oh,
there's the tilt.
Okay in chat. I think Trex just came out a lot stronger than he anticipated. I don't think he thought he was quite up against this caliber of opponent, and he's, you know, doesn't really seem like he had much of a plan B.
And amazingly, it all comes back to that one mistake on the wall with 10 seconds left in the last game. Imagine the confidence Zamué would have that his strategy could work coming into this one. Instead, he's been forced to divert away from it. 2 games down now. Trex on the verge of a sweep.
Yeah, you've got to fancy Trex now. Zamué says wait.
Yeah, he's not just leaving for the sake of it.
Apparently has a plan, maybe a switch of car. But, you know, he's got to switch something up. Trex is looking a bit too hot to just... You can't give him room right now. He's playing too well to, you know, let him play with his toys. You've got to go and start, you know, chucking the toys about, getting them out of his hands.
What are we thinking here? Is this like an internet restart, maybe? Maybe a new car? What are we thinking here?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. Probably a new car, maybe a snack, some water. He's just taking some time to sort of relax, calm down, sort his thoughts out. You can tell he was getting upset.
Yeah, this has been a very, very difficult game for Zamué, especially coming off such a heartbreaking loss in game number 1. As for Trex, there's no real coaching to be had by anyone here. Just keep doing what you're doing. Mechanically, Trex has not put a foot wrong so far. He is just taking the ball to the wall, doing exactly what he needs to do with it in those positions.
Yeah, he's not overthinking it at all. He's just like, you know what? Every time I get the ball, I'm going to go for a cool play. Sometimes I'll get countered, but that's fine, because for every time I get countered, I'm going to score 2. It's okay. He's just come out playing unbelievably well. Much better than I was expecting. I've seen him play before, and I was always very impressed. But he looks like he's just sort of, you know, smoothed the edges on his game for this one.
I had a little bit of a framey camera moment. That looks like it was great fun. Hope you guys all enjoyed that at home. As we get ourselves ready for game number 3. Want to hear from you guys, obviously, in the Twitch chat or hashtag SMUG over on Twitter. And I want to hear from Marky as well right now as we get the 2 players in. Is it done here, or has Zamué got that plan B?
I think the Fennec might be a good shot. I always thought Zamué was a Fennec player. It's been a while since I've seen him in the Octane. This might, you know, sometimes you just need to switch something up to give yourself a bit of confidence. I don't know. I think we'll see a different Zamué this game. He's you know, he's a professional. His team, the Giants, are doing pretty good these days. He's got that winner's mentality. I think we'll see a bit more fight from him for this game.
I'm going to start off with him just blasting the ball to the other side of the field. I'd like to see no-nonsense Zamué this time around. He is going to take
no nonsense Zamué's got.
He's going to have to try and dribble this one around. Trex or fakes him out on the first one, and Zamué, good job not fully committing to the other side of the ball.
Interesting to see Zamué still back off when Trex gets the ball in those positions.
It's so difficult as well because you see the style of play that Trex is going to go for, and you just think to yourself, there's no way he can do that consistently. Like, he has to miss this more often than he's going to hit it. I have to be getting some sort of goal plus out of this. And it's not true. Like, he'll hit those way more often, and it just boggles the mind of any defensive player.
Good low block from Zamué. Chance to capitalize here. Takes it a bit too slow. Good recovery from Trex. Oh, that might have been a bad boost grab. It's okay. He got away with it.
Zamué. Now I'm just going to take it to the other side of the field. What a catch by Zamué. And a receipt for Trex on the way out.
Yeah, this is a bit more no-nonsense. Zamué just gets the ball and then drives towards the goal. Good stuff from Zamué. Great catch, like you said.
That's those dribble challenges right there. You'll get used to them very quickly. Oh, Trex first time shot. That's so much power. He just turns and shoots, and he generates way more than he has any right to.
Yeah, great finish as well. Near post too, so Zamué can't even get close to it. It's because of that. It's because of that flip stall. Is that what it is? What are the kids calling it these days?
I think they just call it a stall.
They just call it a stall? Right, damn kids.
I don't know. I don't do it. I don't name mechanics that I can't do.
But yeah, that little stall there where you don't fully complete the flip does give you that little extra power. So good mechanics from Trex.
Oh, and Zamué again with another demo. Very able to take out both player and ball, but this is not the best position for him. Wanted that ball to at least pop up onto his hood as he played around it, but Zamué's catches are just so tricky right now.
Look at this turn, catches Trex completely off guard. Kind of scuffs the finish a little bit, to be honest, but gets away with it. Nice little turn from Zamué. And some of the more educated Rocket League viewers in chat are informing me that it's a flip cancel, which does
okay, I know what you're talking about now. As soon as you said stall, soon as you said stall to me, I was like, yeah.
Doesn't sound right. It makes sense, but it's definitely a cancel. And this is a bit more. This is a bit more like it. This is the adjustment in strategy that we were hoping to see. Look, Trex in his favorite position off the wall, and Zamué is just like, Zamué just goes no-nonsense mode, flings himself at it, scores right on the counter, and we're going to have to see more of that, I reckon, if he's going to come back in the series.
Marky, imagine telling Battle Cars us, hey, we're going to see ceiling shots. No, but that's not the craziest thing, though. The defense to it is also to be on the ceiling.
Yeah. Like, so, to be fair, Sarber's a lot harder to do that sort of thing.
I would love to see what sort of mechanics you can recreate over there, but this mechanic for Zamué is pretty simple. It is called shot on target, and he does it very well.
It's called Don't Absolutely Bean It, and he's executed it perfectly. Again, Trex overcommitting a little bit, and Zamué has sort of sticking with the same philosophy of kind of just playing it safe and letting the mistakes come, but with a bit more aggression. It's like he's like a chess player with, you know, a nasty set of teeth. I guess. Or if you can come up with a better analogy, maybe.
Now I'm gonna let you have this one as Trex again gonna get himself another one. I do like the more aggressive approach to defense though from Zamué, especially if he can start varying it. A couple of fake challenges from him now that he has proven that he will actually dive on in on occasion. Might be enough to start throwing Trex off. But at the same time, I don't think Trex really cares. No. There's no part of me, like, I think he could come up against any name in ranked, and he just has it blanked out in his mind. There's no name respect there for Trex whatsoever. It is just, there is an opponent in net. Good for him. Yeah. And that's about as far as his thought process go.
Yeah, no, you gotta respect it. He just comes out, plays his game, doesn't care who you are. He's just like, listen, if my moves come off, you're not gonna save them and I'm gonna win. So I'm just relying on my own mechanics. But Zamué, looking a lot sharper, coming out way stronger, definitely making better decisions and just taking the game to Trex a bit more.
Since Trex, the one thing that Trex does not seem to do is play the ball back to his own corner. So when Zamué has seen him move into that midfield, it's a good read to just think he's going to go immediately for the turn. And Zamué does get the read on him that time around. 3 goals up. He'll be hoping for no such calamity as there was in game number 1. Low challenge again.
Nice attempt on the slow roll dunk. Yeah, I think Trex would benefit from maybe, whenever he gets the ball, like I said earlier, he's very direct, just wants to go straight for the goal. I think he would maybe benefit from trying out this control thing a bit more. And Zamué, great read. Again, just flinging himself at those balls, you know, cutting him off at the source.
Yes, soon as we've seen Trex get that second touch mid-air, it's all in his control. So a great job so far by Zamué, cutting out before that second touch happens. And this is where Zamué wanted to be. A couple of goals up, forcing Trex to aggress and taking advantage of the opportunities that it comes towards him. And this is a bit cheeky, a little bit too cheeky.
Yeah, I think he was like, I think in midair, he was thinking, I'm going to score a sick goal. And he looked at the score and he was like, you know what? Let's just play it safe.
Yeah,
Let's
4
remain in
goals.
control of the situation.
4 goals is it's comfortable, but it could not be comfortable very quickly.
Yeah. If I start going for flip resets, all of a sudden it's going to be 2 goals and 1 goal. And you know what? I'll hang on to 4 goals.
Full credit though to Zamué. I thought this was over, especially the way he was playing. You know, the quick chats, the stop partway through the last game, but the mental resiliency that he has shown here to get back and perform as well as he has in this game and take advantage of the more mistakes that we are seeing from Trex.
Ooh, okay.
Fair credit to him.
Yeah, I mean that's the winning mentality that you get from high-level tournament experience. You know, even though it's mainly 3v3s, it does carry through to every aspect of the game. You're sort of able to put previous games aside and just focus on the next ball, and it's great.
Oh, wow.
What a lovely air dribble.
All right, Zamué. Apparently we were complaining too much in the last few games about the lack of flair from Zamué.
How did
we'll
he even
take that.
You couldn't even see Trex. How did he know that Trex was just going as fast as possible? Great, just good read.
Wait, say that one again and then say the name of the player again.
You freaked me out now, I'm confused. What did I say?
Why? How do you know that Trex is going full speed? Because he's on the field. Trex doesn't go any other pace.
You're right. You're absolutely right. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have questioned that.
Trex has got I reckon Trex has probably got like a double bound, like the accelerator button and the boost button.
Just got a bit of blue tack over both of them. Doesn't actually press them at any point.
Oh, we had dominant game 3, and if you are gonna make the reverse sweep happen, this is certainly a good way to start it. Zamué is going to take game 3. Very least is going to spare his blushes should this be over in the next one. But for the time being, this is a great start for him, and he's going to want to do it again. This is going to be pretty much the tail of the tape from now on, Marky. Zamué needs the lead.
Yeah, I mean, my money's kind of on Zamué now. I feel like Zamué is a bit more capable of adjusting his strategy than Trex is, and now that he's figured Trex out, I feel like it's all Zamué's. I don't know if does Trex have a plan B? You know, does he take the blue tack off the control? I don't know. No. I think this is Zamué's now, honestly.
My only question is, can Zamué do this whilst he's chasing? That's my only question. If he can, however, if he can use the advantage he's now got in the neutral game, get those first 2 goals, he should be fine. It's an interesting matchup, though, and it's very interesting to see. But for Trex, to your point, we don't know if he's got a plan B. He hasn't needed it so far. So if he has got one, we're going to see in this game, or is that plan B just going to be do what I was doing, but do it better?
Yeah, I mean, fair enough if that is your plan B. Just go and play your game. Maybe Trex feels like it wasn't because Zamué figured him out. Maybe Trex feels like he just wasn't sharp enough, or he didn't pull off his mechanics well enough. Maybe it wasn't a strategy thing. I mean, I think it was, but maybe Trex disagrees.
What we can't disagree with is Zamué getting the first goal in this game. I was already mentioning how I thought the first 2 goals could be crucial here.
Yeah,
that's half the job done for Zamué, and he didn't need much for it.
Yeah, that's pretty helpful, especially when he's sort of playing a counter-attacking strategy. Going a couple goals up really helps. Good speed from Trex, though.
Especially when Zamué's entire strategy mid-air there was just to outpace him. So Zamué knew what he wanted to do, still wasn't able to quite outpace Trex, who sets himself up, goes for the hook shot, and what a play that is.
Yep, just classic Rocket League. Classic 1v1. Pop the ball, wait for the bounce, and go and smash it in the top corner. That's been bread and butter since 2015.
And it still works. And it will always work. Because there is an entire goal for you to aim at in what essentially is a self-infield pass.
Yeah.
It's so good. And it will always be so good. Zamué, though, is stuck in a bit of a tough spot. To avoid being demoed, and he cannot avoid being demoed. Now it comes up to where he spawns, and he has to watch it whistle past his nose.
Yeah, maybe a little bit naive from Zamué. I felt like I saw that demo coming. Trex racing for the boost, clearly wasn't going to win the boost, but he didn't back out. I wonder why. Bang! It's because he's going to demo you and score and laugh
and score again. This is the series I remember here, Marky.
Yeah, Zamué getting the better of the kickoffs right now, ever since he switched to the Fennec.
Again, right off that crossbar. That could have been pretty horrible to him as well, because you saw Zamué jump a second time. If that hits crossbar and jumps down, Zamué is just going to do what everyone does there and go flying straight past that ball. But off the kickoff for another one, 3 goals. All of them kickoffs for Zamué.
Yeah, he's definitely got the advantage in that part of the field, which is a pretty big place to have an advantage. If you've got the advantage on the kickoff, you're looking pretty good in ones.
Well, unless Trex plans on completely redefining the meta, he can't go up the wall or do anything from the ceiling off the kickoff. I do look forward to the day, though. I do not doubt it.
Again, goes for the early block, but this time he fakes for the early block by flying off the ceiling and then comes back and gets Trex to relinquish possession. This time as well, aware of the demo, he's learning.
Oh, it almost didn't make any difference. Trex scared him off and almost scored straight away. Now looking at the backboard, what can Zamué do in this position? He just gets contact, and now it comes all down to the recovery. Trex forced all the way back into his own corner, and we restart from square one. Zamué with a little bit of pressure of his own, but he might have just overstepped his boundaries. Another good recovery from him. And again, over to this corner. Marky, I've never liked this corner, and there's a reason for it.
Yeah, Zamué may be getting a bit eager for that 50. I don't know about that decision, and then, I mean, a bit unlucky, obviously, but doesn't quite come off for him, and Trex gets an easy open net. Almost got demoed, just managed to bunny hop him.
3 each. And this has just turned into a bit of a brawl now in the midfield. All strategy out the window, just slight, meta games between them in the midfield. See which one is going to make the mistouch that you can counterattack from. Here is Trex off the ball, and Zamué keeps it out.
I'd love that first touch to set himself up. If the shot was slightly better, that would have been some goal. And he's got room to do one of his moves. Doesn't quite get it. Bump. Doesn't quite get the bump either. Oh, and now he's in a lot of trouble.
Well, Trex failed to get his bump. Zamué did not have such a problem. He just wipes him out.
Wasn't even thinking about the ball. He just wanted blood.
It certainly worked out. 240. This match very much up in the air at the moment. Finally, Trex is going to get a good kickoff for himself, and he is going to score from it. Trex absolutely needed to take advantage of that. Have a look. Okay, good positioning from Trex. My goodness. Just able to catch the ball over to the left-hand side. It's becoming one of those matches, Marky, where I'm just enjoying the little mind games between the two all the time. Zamué thought, hey, Trex likes to dive and challenge. Let's make use of that.
Saw him flying in out the corner of his eye. He's like, okay then, I'll just shoot, I guess. Yeah, when you have as much of a history as these two players have in 1v1s, the midfield does become very meta indeed. You end up seeing a lot of plays that, if it weren't for the history, would be very questionable. But because there's that history there, and there's, levels of reads and mind games, it actually all, makes sense in its own context.
Yeah, you start to tailor your strategy not from what should a player be able to do in this situation, but what can you do? What have I seen you struggle with in the past? Zamué again. Both players always looking like they're so out of position, able to recover each time. Zamué again forced to save. He's now back in his own goal. 100 boost stolen by Trex. Takes the ball down, but that's not the bounce he was after. And Zamué with the challenge can get out.
Trex just full pace in every attacking move. He just tries to fix a chance for himself as quick as he can every time. Opportunity here. I think Zamué's going to be able to recover.
You fought it, Trex fought it, and his long and patient play, is not rewarded! The post this time comes to the aid of Zamué, who's still got his 1-goal lead. Trex might recover from this, gets himself back down, but again, it's that first touch that does not work for him. Trex is getting a lot of times where he's trying to control the ball, and he's dropping the ball onto the floor instead.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting so close, to be fair. I feel like a couple of those times you just needed a little bit more contact on the finish. Maybe chuck in like a fake or something, because he's going full pace all the time. You think a fake would probably work out for him at some point, because Zamué's expecting him just to go hell for leather. Oh, here we go. Zamué backing off this time. Oh. A lot of pressure being absorbed by Zamué right now.
He's going to have to try and find his way out of this. The low challenge. Trex gets himself back to the floor, but he has used so much boost for it, which means no chance of getting back this time. Zamué, in a role reversal of game 1, had to absorb so much pressure, and this time, he's the one that's going to get the goal.
Just textbook defending. Didn't freak out, just remained composed throughout the whole, situation. Must have... Oh my goodness, must have absorbed, 5, 6 clear-cut chances and then just finally picks his moment and gets the counter.
Oh, and Trex went far too early this time. Couldn't quite see where Zamué was. Thought he might be going for a challenge. Instead, Zamué sat back, has himself that 3-goal lead. And this is what game 1 was supposed to be for him.
Yes, this is a bit more like it for Zamué. This is probably what he was envisioning in his mind.
What would this be? The third game 5 of the day?
Yep.
Well, don't tell them. I hope, Johnny, if you are listening to this, mute the stream real quick. Matchmakers have done a very good job today, haven't they?
Yeah. Johnny's a matchmaker, isn't he?
I would assume both him and Smellsworth both are, but they have done a phenomenal job so far getting us to this point. Game 5 is up next. Zamué looking for the reverse sweep.
Wow. Great professionalism from Zamué. Great strategy adjustment. Wonderful competitor mentality to come back from getting, like a really tilting defeat in the first game, getting pretty handily beat in the second game, comes back and just looks like a completely different player. Just, hats off to him.
This is like trying to just show off the image, isn't it? Just like, here's where he was, just stomped into the dirt really in game 2. And you look at him play now, it's like it never happened. He couldn't care less. He's just played his game. I think both players have done a very good job of this so far. They are very, very confident in their style of play. The only thing that has changed is that Zamué has come up with his shell a little bit more. He has been more willing to take those midfield battles, and I think he's getting a little bit of the better of them so far. As for Trex, that becomes very difficult because he wants to play in the open space. Where are you going to get that open space against someone that is so willing to challenge you early?
Yeah, Zamué made the decision to be a lot more proactive in midfield and defense, and it's paid off amazingly. I feel like Trex needs to mix up his attacks a bit more, because it's sort of like, he just... If Zamué can figure out what the quickest route to goal is, then he's probably figured out what Trex's next move is going to be. And I think Trex needs to adjust that somehow.
And for all the talk, here's one thing that has definitely been in the favor of Zamué. Another game where he kicks it off with a kickoff goal.
Yeah. Yep, that is also... I mean, we've talked all you want about strategy, but he's just scoring lots of kickoff goals at the moment.
I mean, when his strategy is get a few goals up, the first question that should come to mind is, how's he going to do that? Kickoffs.
Yeah.
It's, for Trex, it's going to be heartbreaking because you're just immediately feeding into what Zamué wants to do before you've really had a chance to get out there and play.
Yeah, there's nothing more upsetting in Rocket League than 1v1 kickoff goals, really. You can see the kickoff goal in a 2v2 or a 3v3, you're like, probably something I could have done on defense, but 1v1 is just like, what am I supposed to do? Anyway, fantastic flick from Trex to get the equalizer. Read Zamué's early challenge, just popped it over.
Yeah, Zamué tried to feint that he was going to start heading back to net. Immediately turned around, and Trex was not to be fooled. One each. This next goal is crucial. I think Trex needs it a little bit more than Zamué does. Zamué, we have seen, is very comfortable, especially when he gets a couple of goals up. As for Trex, oh, what a catch again from Zamué. That was not what he was after. Instead, Trex can't quite figure out what it's supposed to be, and he's pinched it against the post. What a sequence between the two, but Trex will get the better of it.
Oh, it was such a wonderful fake to create the opportunity, and he just had a bit of a meltdown, didn't he? Got the wrong side of it and pinched it massively to his own goal. And
he did make the same mistake again, by the way, where he sat in the goal.
I think Trex thought it was maybe a bit too early to play that strat. Oh, here we go again.
What a way to win game 5 that would be. Just stay on the goal line for another 4 minutes. Zamué going to tie us back up.
See, I think Trex on these wall moves, he's trying to set up the perfect run at goal and get a flip reset or something, but he should you know, if he sees Zamué coming, he needs to pop the ball earlier, release possession earlier, get it past Zamué, because Zamué scored like 4, 5, 6 goals now off Trex attempting air dribbles off the wall.
Yeah, whilst we look at the other side, whenever Zamué has gone to where Trex challenges, Zamué just goes higher. You know, Zamué's entire air dribble strategy relies on Trex challenging. That is a great low challenge from Trex. Saw his boost situation and played into it.
Yeah, that 50 is 200 IQ. How does he know to put on the brakes there? Oh, that is as good as a 50-50 as you will see. That is genius. I watched it again on Twitch stream, and it's just as good.
Yeah, it's so nice seeing stuff like that, especially when you see a player caught in a situation. I'm in the opponent's side of the field. I've got no boost. Yeah. What do I do here? I do the only thing I can.
I just want to point out that little move he did there, the wave dash on the wall. He had no boost, and he wave dashed off the wall. Well, he jumped off the wall, and then wave dashed back onto it to get a little bit more speed and hit, you know, sort of get himself out of trouble. Genius mechanics from Trex, and now he's pretty sure he had no boost for the whole play there.
Trex is just unrelenting. He is a honey badger in Rocket League car form, and he will not be deterred.
Quite an accurate description, actually. Very feisty, isn't he?
Well, we'll go with that one over chess player with teeth.
Well, it could be a honey badger playing chess.
No, now, all right, we need some art of this. Please. Hashtag SMUG. We will retweet that as Zamué off the crossbar, and he's got it. And that was so desperately needed.
Yeah, lovely quick piece of play. Trex not careful enough, though, really. You know, pop the ball in a dangerous position like that. You don't want to take such a lackadaisical route back to hit it again. And gives Zamué not an open goal, but someone of Zamué's quality scoring that 9 times out of 10, I feel.
Now Trex, he tried to open up the field for himself, but the touch was just far too heavy for him to go for the hook shot afterwards. Oh, that's so good! Trex! You can even see Zamué sets himself up for what he thinks is going to happen, and Trex is always just that little bit quicker.
Just nicks in. Good read off the wall, understands that you don't have to, you know, hit that on target. Just take Zamué out the gate and score the open net. Great, just speed. Just great speed from Trex.
Trex does not need a long-term plan. He's so good at coming up with it on the fly, and now 6-3. Trex off the kickoff has got himself the huge advantage.
Yeah, that was a big goal there. If he can keep his kickoffs good and clean, you know, you really fancy him now. He seems to have stepped up a little bit. His kickoffs have improved. He doesn't even need to finish that one. Out of nowhere, it kind of looked like it was going Zamué's way again this last game. Right up until that pinch off the post, and he sort of collapsed since then.
It seems like just one thing goes wrong for Zamué, and it all collapses. Had the same thing game 1, 10 seconds left. Doesn't go for him. He loses the overtime, and game 2 just never really got started for him. Zamué he's very good at fixing it between games, but he hasn't got a between game here. He's got to do it right now, and he's got 2 minutes to overcome a 4-goal deficit, and if Trex gets his way, it'll be even more. Oh,
we're in a really tough spot now if we're Zamué. Great catch from Trex, but Zamué misses the boost. I also feel like he was sort of asking for that by even attempting to go for the boost. You know, left his goal open. Some of Trex's quality is always going to catch that and put it in the far corner. It's looking real rough for Zamué.
He's got to get something soon, because this can keep spiraling out of control. Zamué off the play, and he has got something. 4 goals is the challenge set in front of him. And hopefully for him, this is the goal that will get that kick started.
Yeah, nice little flick from Zamué. Still a mountain to climb, but at least he's popped his mountain boots on. He's got his wee walking stick. I don't know what you call them. You know, the pointy walking sticks? He's got one of them. What a shot! Pokes him with a walking stick. Look at this. Controls it onto the ceiling, saves his flip for when he hits the ground, and then just an unreal amount of power. And Trex managing to matrix dodge that one.
I think Trex just hoped like he got it right. Just anywhere. Hopefully the ball will just go straight into me. But with that walking stick, Zamué is prodding away at this lead. And there's a chance for him. He's going to try and break away here. Trex already back. But he does pass it straight over to the path of that 100
Yes.
boost, but Trex never goes away. You think he's done with it, and he just keeps on top of it. I think it's amazing. Trex makes it your perfect play, and he still gets to go wrong, but now Zamué is going to make it within 2 minutes and 17 on the clock.
Just a painful as a feels backflip, man, wasn't it? Maybe the pressure getting into him a little bit, just gave that one away. Unfortunately, Zamué didn't really have to do anything.
And now, crisis management for Trex.
Oh, here we go.
He's going to bet it all on himself.
Oh,
and he's got it! Trex! Absolute animal on the ball.
Fearless. You know, he's let his lead. The league he doesn't care. Doesn't play it safe. He's like, I'm going to score a flip reset because I love scoring flip resets.
I feel like we're feeling more pressure than Trex is. I'm not too sure. We definitely are, apparently. Zamué, he does keep it out. He's still in this one. But he's low boost. He does manage to pick up the other 100. But Trex... Trex doesn't care.
That was such a weird goal. Zamué was just sort of watching, like, come on. Give me the boost. Please mess this up. Now 4 goals with a minute left. Do you think... I mean, surely now...
I feel like the flurry has happened.
Yeah, surely now is the time to put the brakes on if you're Trex. Like, I get it before 2 goals is an act of the lead with a minute left. Fair enough, you go for a flip reset, but nope, absolutely not.
Trex is going to check the gearbox here, and he's going to realize, oh, I was only in 3rd.
Oh, nice fake. If it was a fake, I'm not sure. But it worked. And this is really the time to start scoring goals if you're Zamué.
Certainly is. He's gone straight through the middle, though. No angle to help him out with. A first-time shot from Trex. And he wipes out Zamué as well. That should be enough for it. Shot is off target. I don't think it's going to make any difference. In fact, Zamué gracefully decides to help him out.
You know what? Good mental showing from both players. Zamué to sort of pick himself up and bring it back to 2 games apiece, and Trex, you know, because that can be tilting. That can be one of the most tilting things in the world, like losing a lead like that. And then Trex to come out, doesn't let it bother him at all. Looked like the exact same player all the way through. Just played his own game, went for his shots the whole time, and it came through for him in the end. Great series.
This was a very interesting series to watch in terms of flow and in terms of momentum, because it just switched hands so many times. But it is Trex that had enough of it to take the series. He takes the victory and the $1,000 prize, as well as bragging rights over Zamué. I want to see these two play again. I would very much like to see that. I know they've obviously played a few times. I don't care. When you got good Rocket League, you don't say no when it comes to seeing it a couple more times after that. But Marky, what did you make of the series?
I just thought it was an excellent series in terms of quality. We saw a bit of everything, a bit of strategy, a lot of mechanical skill, some great bean moments of Zamué missing it off the post and, you know, basically throwing the game as it turned out. Just a great series.
So, then we are now halfway through today's broadcast. Victories for Seabell, Rizzo, and Trex currently posted up. But when we come back, it's Gengar versus Mektos.